Feeling overwhelmed? It's time to recharge. Join myself and Coach Lauren J on July 27th at the very first Recharge Retreat. Focus on meditation and breathing, dive into business planning, and explore journaling in a peaceful setting. Don't miss this transformative experience. Grab your tickets now at rechargeretreatla.com. That's rechargeretreatla.com. Recharge your mind, body, and soul with us. We'll see you there. What's good, Go Getters? I'm Erica Smith, a Louisiana girl who left corporate and dove headfirst into digital entrepreneurship. I took everything I learned in my 11-year social media marketing and sales career, launched my online business, and made $20K in 2 weeks. But it wasn't long after I realized that making money is only a small part of running a successful company. And looking back, I could have used a lot of insight and direction. So I'm keeping it real on this podcast, doing all the research so you don't have to. Mindset, money, struggles, and setbacks are all safe topics here. Get ready to learn the marketing methods and sales secrets to scaling a successful digital business that serves both your purpose and your pockets. Consider this a cookout kickback with a touch of table talk networking. Your journey as an entrepreneur is definitely the ride of your life, but if you're ready to go get it, you're in the right place. Welcome to Go Getter. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Go Getter, the podcast. Y'all, I am so excited because this is our first Go Getter episode with a guest. Like, we got a Go Getter guest, and I couldn't think of a better person to be able to be here with me in this journey and just to kind of talk about this topic that we're going to be talking about today, which is all about why you need to take a break as an entrepreneur, why that is so important, and why you need to break before you break. So I have Lauren Jackson with me here today. Lauren, what's good? How are you?
Hello. I'm so excited to be here.
Listen, when I tell you, Lauren is one of those people who, like, when you meet her, your life will never be the same. And I am proof of that. I told Lauren, like, I'm pretty much like her own little in-person project, because the more that we spend time with each other, the more that we talk, the more the more I've been able to identify just how talented she is. So Lauren is a lifestyle coach. She's a relationship coach. She has helped so many women and men, because we have also identified that she is like a men whisperer. So listen, if you are someone who is trying to grow in your relationship, in your marriage, in your relationship with people, like, Lauren is definitely that girl. But today we're going to be talking about burnout and just what that means as an entrepreneur and, like, being able to take a break. So Lauren, when you think about what do you think is the main reason why we struggle to break as entrepreneurs?
I think it just comes from the idea that we always have to be doing something. One of the things I've shared, and I've said this to you several times, as business owners, the job, the reason, the whole title of what you do, your job description is to create jobs for others. So your business is to be a blessing to others and create opportunities for others, not more job functions for yourself. And as an entrepreneur, a lot of times we don't do that. We create more jobs for ourselves than we're creating for others. And so we're not being a blessing. We are being a burden to ourselves and our business. So we are, working against ourselves.
Yeah, that's so good, because, I used to say a lot of times, I still say it right now, if I'm being honest, like, I've become a liability in my own business because of that area of me not being able to delegate and elevate. And I have trust issues. Okay. Like, I have trust issues because, when I first started my company, I tried to hire, but I think it had a lot to do with me not having the right processes in place. What do you think about being able to have, those, what we call those SOPs, those documents for them to follow up on and kind of go step by step? Do you think that, maybe that could be the reason why we kind of struggling with trust issues? What do you think?
No, I really think we struggle with trust issues because we struggle with self-trust. So when we have not forgiven ourselves for the decisions that we have made, we tend to assume the sell. And in the assuming the sell, we assume that somebody else is going to do the same thing. And so because we have not gotten out of our own way, that it's impossible to create structure in a mind that's filled with chaos. So if your mind is chaotic, creating structure in a written plan is going to be very challenging. And so then it lends to us struggling with self-confidence, because now we're struggling with our self-confidence because the truth is we don't know what we're doing. Why? Because we're not mindful of like what our routine looks like. And I think a lot of times when people think of SOPs, they think, oh, I got to show every little thing that I'm doing. Well, it's more about having order. And so when people say I have trust issues, they're really saying I have commitment issues. And so when we struggle with commitment, that is a direct reflection of us struggling with our own self-worth and value.
Oh, that's so good. And when you think about making the commitment to yourself, what I know is that I've struggled with prioritizing myself, like taking the time to say, this is going to be the time where I'm going to take a break, where I'm going to reset my thoughts, where I'm going to prioritize, because as an entrepreneur, it's constantly go, 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 go. Like there's always something. The business never turns off. And when you take on that energy, you find yourself leading into this space of I'm always on, I'm always working, I'm always doing it. I have to be the one. So what would you say is a way that we can begin to transition out of that thinking?
Stop handing over everything. The issue is we're handing over everything, and we're still trying to prove to ourselves that we can do it on our own. And that's really the trauma. Most people that are entrepreneurs struggle with this trauma called hyper independence. And that comes from having habitual letdowns or being in relationships where you're consistently disappointed. And so in order to mitigate the risk of disappointment, we just say, I can do it myself. And being a business owner is a team player sport. And a lot of us say that we want partnerships, but we're the problem. And so until you can fix your problem, partnership is going to be hard. And that doesn't matter what relationship you're in. And so what we have to do to first start dealing with that is forgiving you. Because we will keep our commitment to everybody else but ourselves. And then we will basically teeter-totter with our own values because we're not committed to them. And then we're mad, when people buy us at the rate that we discounted ourselves at.
That's so good. You all in my business. You are all in my business per usual. Okay, so once we have made the decision to make the commitment and we start elevating, delegating, we ain't handing over everything. How important would you say is rest?
Oh man, it's a priority. See, the issue is we think that we can't stop. That's the problem. And so we have a God complex. Even God rested. He told the Israelites, he said, hey, you can till the land for X amount of days, but I need you to rest on this day. Like we should have a day of rest. That is in alignment with God's word. The issue is we have a God complex. So we're trying to be in control. When I say a God complex, I mean, we're trying to be in control of everything. We want to control all 7 days of the week. Baby, listen, if he rested, why you not? He don't even yawn. You yawn all day. And what we don't realize is that when we rest, we can move from a restored place. The word restoration first starts with the word restore. So you can't restore something that you haven't sat down somewhere with. Like we say down south, sat down somewhere. So you're not ever getting to rest. And so you're sleeping, but you're not resting. Yeah. So that's why you're waking up tired. That's why you're snappy. That's why you're agitated. That's why things aren't going its way. Because when you're rested, that is when God can speak to you in your unconscious mind, because now you are resting in trust. Most of us, because we struggle with trust, we don't rest in our heads. We don't rest in our hearts. We rest in our heads. And that's not rest at all. That's where overthinking happens in your head. Your heart doesn't overthink. Your mind does. So identifying those things, and a lot of the reasons of why we rest in our heads and not our hearts, we don't journal. We don't journal. We don't take out time to write the vision or write about what we're feeling.
Man, so writing the vision is so important, and taking that time to journal is so important, which is one of the reasons I'm so excited about the Recharge Retreat that's coming up on July 27th. So it's going to give us an opportunity to be able to take that intentional time, to take that break, and to take that rest. Kind of talk about kind of what the brains behind why this was really, just why you want to do this, or what inspired, what said, you know what, enough is enough. We need to be able to have a space to where we can actually recharge to really get to the levels that we're trying to get. Talk to us a little bit about what inspired the Recharge Retreat.
Really my goal. So I have definitely been known as a person. I always tell people I'm an overcoming workaholic, and I'm an overcoming avoidant attachment style and a recovering. Okay. And so I committed that I wanted this year to spend time saying yes to things I'm great at, not yes to things I'm just good at. And some of those things included me wanting to slow live. I don't desire to live in a day where I've got to hurry up and rush to do something. God does not require us to do that. And I did not leave working in corporate America to be a slave to my purpose. I want to be a service to the purpose, not a slave to the purpose. And your business is a purpose. It's an intentional act that solves a solution. If you are not solving a problem, you have an expensive hobby, and you may need to go to the job because you're not disciplined for this. But that's for another day. And so when we talk about what made me say, hey, we're going to recharge, it's because I'm living it. And I've seen so many entrepreneurs and business owners not be able to enjoy the blessing that they have in the flexibility to create wealth and the ability to show up for their kids and show up for themselves, because now they're not, on someone's clock, because we just won't do the simple things as just recharge and just rest and set boundaries. And so a lot of that comes with sitting down. And most of us, we want to be everyday hustling. I am not everyday hustling. I am not, that is not something I am subscribing to. I unsubscribed from that newsletter, that podcast, that subscription
it's a joke.
model.
It's a joke. It always a lie. It's not real.
Yeah, it's giving
don't do it. Very ghetto. Highly don't recommend.
Yeah, it's getting 0 stars from me. So no. And so like in the Recharge Retreat, the things that we'll get to do is we're going to talk about setting your boundaries. A lot of us don't know our boundaries because we haven't really sat back and thought about our goals and our values. Are those things in alignment, right? And then we'll also talk about and also get to do a lot of breath work. So there'll be some meditation time for us to practice true self-care. I always tell people, just going to the spa is not self-care. We need soul care, really, SOUL care. And so how are you caring for your soul? What does that look like? That looks like resetting your nervous system. That looks like taking deep breaths. That looks like moving your body, stretching, those types of things. And then also managing stress. So we'll be talking about and doing even some activities on how to manage your emotions, because a lot of us are allowing the feelings and not the facts that are found in your data to drive our decision making, which is why you're going left. And then, empowering you to ask for help. And making that okay. I don't know who said, it's okay for us to do everything on our own. If you are under the word system, the WORD, and a believer, then you already knew that when God created you, he created you for interdependence, which means two strong people that can hold up each other. He did not create you for codependency, where you are highly idolatry, being an idol, or being in idolatry to other
Yeah.
people. And he also didn't create you to be hyper independent, separate from him.
Mm.
So he wanted oneness. And so helping us to really get our minds back into that space.
Yeah.
And then the end out will be us having, actually, we're going to do what I do, and that's a prayer board. And I know a lot of people do vision boards. I do vision boards. I've done vision boards for the last 3 years. I believe in them, but I also believe that in order for a structure to stand, it has to have bolts and nuts and other things. And your prayers is what keeps you connected to your values. And so we'll actually get to do our prayer boards and really putting our prayers behind the things we say we want, and not just, putting our performance
Yeah.
behind the things we say we want.
Yeah, that's so good. And then I'm excited because I'll be there adding in the marketing and the planning side of it. So if you're a business owner, the Recharge Retreat is going to be an incredible opportunity for you to just pause. It's perfect, ideal timing. We're halfway through the year. If your year has not been given what it was supposed to give and you want to finish the year strong, you definitely need to be at the Recharge Retreat, because we're going to be allowing space and holding space for us to be able to prioritize not only the purpose that God has given us, but also give us the ability to be around other people, other women, other men who are going to be on that same path. Because community, being around other people who understand the importance and really accountability, like making sure that we're able to be in that space where other people understand the struggles. They understand all the trials and things that we have to go through as entrepreneurs on a regular basis. So definitely, you guys, click the link that's in the show notes to be able to learn more about the Recharge Retreat. I'm super excited about it. It is in Minden, Louisiana. Talk about the space, Lauren. Like, what about the space? Like,
Oh
where are
my
we going to
God.
be at?
We're going to be at Cobo Creek. It is a beautiful 42-acre ranch, countryside. I always tell people I believe it's God's country, and it's super healing. It's been all the things, all the feelings that you had as a child of having the big house and the white picket fence. It has a big house and a white picket fence, child. So it is giving all land, all foundation, all breathing in clean air. And it's in a place of solitude. And I think that's really, the environment that you choose to rest in matters. Imagine trying to rest at the hospital. You can't get rest in the hospital, right? Because they're every 20 seconds someone's coming to poke you, prod you, and they're trying to heal you, at least heal you enough to get you out the door. So this will not be that, okay? Here you can truly breathe, and people don't think that's a thing, but most people walk around holding their breath all day, and that's why they're so filled with anxiety, because they're not taking time to just breathe. um and so I'm so excited about the space because it invites it. I'm telling you, as soon as your car turns into the long driveway, you're going to want to put down your window and you're going to want to breathe, and just take it all in and be present. And so this is an invitation for you to be present with yourself, give you grace, love on you, give you what you need so you can give others what they need. Again, the goal is to serve, not slave. And so this is your invitation. If you have been feeling like that's all you've been doing, and that you've been on this lonely Coney Island, you have been, but it's only because you've been wanting to go over there. So the doors are open. If you don't come, it's because you, again, remember, I want you to replay this podcast, roll it down to the end of it, and hear this voice that said, you chose that.
Yeah.
We welcomed you. We love you. We desire you. We want to support you. We want to clap for you. This community is a community of safety, of love, of significance, and of connection. And you never know who's in the room. You never know who's in the room. When we isolate, you can never connect when you're isolated. So I'm excited about going outside. I'm excited about just the atmosphere there, and us really being able to walk away rejuvenated and refreshed. And I don't know who doesn't need that.
Yeah, I know I do. And I'm looking forward to it. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend some time over the next few weeks really unpacking why we need to recharge. So another fun note is my birthday is in July.
Woo-hoo.
So we're definitely I think that's what I want to give myself. Like rest. Isn't that wild to say that? But that's the truth. Like I really want to give myself rest. And I think I'm gonna, for myself personally, like this episode is definitely important to me because it's gonna show me where I started with this idea, beginning this journey of like being able to prioritize and making the commitment to myself, and then choosing to rest. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
that's
we're so
exciting.
excited. I'm so I can't, like, God's doing so many amazing things, and I'm just so eternally grateful, and I know that as we continue to grow together, and you continue to be here. If I'm still trying to find the words. Hopefully I'll find the words one day, but you are just amazing. You're just amazing, and I can't wait to see just where you're going, where God is taking you, and just as you continue to walk in your purpose. If y'all are not at the recharge retreat, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Like, clearly you choosing to just be burnt out because and I know you don't want that. Let me be a little nicer. Don't choose to, don't choose to be burnt out. Y'all come hang out with us for a day. July 27th. The link is in the show notes. You guys can follow us on social media. I'm at Hey Erica Smith. Lauren, where you at?
I am Lauren G. Jackson. So that is where I'm at on Facebook. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Coach Lauren J. Lauren G. Jackson. Either one will find you, will connect you to me.
Perfect. All right, guys. So y'all make sure that y'all save this episode, share it with a friend. Yeah.
And let us know in the comments, like, what you guys think. Leave us a review on this podcast and let us know, because this podcast is a phenomenal podcast and place for entrepreneurs who are ready to truly be CEOs. Okay, so we don't want you just entrepreneuring. Like, we want you to graduate to CEOing. And so stay connected. Leave us some comments in the reviews. Share this with somebody else. Share it in the stories. Tag me, child. Listen. Tag me.
Yeah. Y'all do that too. If y'all listen, take a picture and show us where y'all listen and tag us.
Yeah,
so we can repost y'all. We want to see where y'all listen.
And you never look. The recharge. This is just the first of many. So don't get it twisted. We will be traveling. So we may decide to travel to your states, to your city. Let us know, like, hey, over here we breathing. Where y'all breathing at?
Where y'all recharging at? Yeah, yes. I love it. All right, y'all. Well, thank you, Lauren. I know you're gonna be back.
I shall be back.
Okay, y'all. All right, y'all, go out, go get it, live your best life, and make the money. Don't let it make you.
That part.